Hi, everyone, and welcome to another Tuesday Social Sciences coffee break. These are our Tuesday at lunch sessions, 12:30, where you can kick back and listen to Stacy and I share a couple of Learn resources. We're going to record that. And then afterwards, you can ask questions about those resources, you can share resources, or you can ask questions or discuss anything you like for the remaining 20 minutes. Think of it like an office hours for us to get together with you. So today the elementary resource will be on Minecraft, using Minecraft specifically in the New France 1745 section of this Cycle 2 history program, and also using a great tool called Gapminder, which could be used in geography and contemporary world in secondary and probably other courses as well. Today I'm alone. I'm going to be sharing the elementary resource. Stacy and I are alternating for the month of December. And so I'll be sharing the elementary resource and also, of course, the secondary resource. So let's get started. So here we go. We call this Minecraft New France in 1745. And as you can see, this is about using the game Minecraft in this time period. What it is, students are going to build a model scenery using Minecraft in basically a Minecraft world, and they're going to build inside that world. Buildings, what goes on there, everything. So why? Engaging way for students to show their knowledge, and interactive way to learn about the history program, and specifically in this case, the seniorial system. But you could imagine that this could be used in various other contexts when the territory is studied. This particular one is designed for elementary cycle 2. And I'm going to show you now where exactly you would find that. So basically, remember that Learn has an introductory page of societies, and it also has societies in different time periods. In this case, this is 1745. So you could search it through there, or you can go through the teacher menu from the front page and look for that type of activity, search Minecraft. So here we go. This particular one was designed by our Recitus partners, and there's a teacher guide which you'll need for certain parts of it for sure, especially the map of the scenery. But I'll show you the student booklet now. So basically, what you're working on here are social science competency to understand the organization of the society in its territory. And the students are going to establish various facts, characterize the territory, make comparisons is also a possible intellectual operation to practice, and connections between facts, concepts that are in action as they build these territories. So instructions, answer the questions concerning the territory. Then we're working on assets and constraints of the territory in New France. And once they've done that, they're going to focus on buildings and building inside Minecraft. So what it looks like is here. Various times through the activity, it's mentioned that you can download the Minecraft world or map. Basically, this is a Minecraft setup that you can install into any Minecraft program. Actually, I believe this only works in the education version, and but I could be wrong. And then the students can build on that. So basically, you're going to read a few things about the land and discuss it, how the lands are organized, who gives the land, what to do with the land, what buildings you need to put on the land after a few years. And then you're going to analyze a landscape. This is the map that the teacher guide can help you with. So you can figure out where on the landscape you might find the Lord, the church, the Manor's Lord, the Lord's Manor, the church, and so on. And also watercourse comes into play later on. You'll see that there's sections on that. Key ideas they're going to be using are assets and constraints. So there's some definitions here in student language. So this is what the sections look like. They work on the land of the scenery, and they discuss its climate, its relief, its hydrographic network, there it is, and different resources that you can produce on the scenery. So there's sections on here. There's resources to study. In this particular one, they could sort of bounce off the map as well when they're discussing the climate and especially the territory. So there's the relief of the territory, the setups of the territory, what you can find in that area. And again, resources to click on. hydrography and different assets and constraints about the different, the water systems. Obviously, some are easier to use than others and more accessible, and different resources on the territory. So then you get into the building section, as I said before. So there's some more resources about different buildings and the characteristics and functions of the buildings. And so there's more buildings here, and you can see inside and that sort of thing. And there's another particular resource about the home and what's inside the home that they can also look at, and also what was done around the home, the farming system, and so on. So, and the final section asks them to sort of start building inside the Minecraft area and to keep track of which buildings use which type of materials to build them on this little chart. So that's a great little activity using Minecraft that you can find on the site. And of course, it's designed for New France, but it could be used at various levels. So that's the elementary resource for today. Again, hold your questions until after I finish recording. Okay, now I'm going to show the secondary resource that I wanted to share, secondary level resource that I wanted to share. This resource is called Gapminder, and it's a visual data resource. If you've never seen Gapminder and the videos surrounding it, you're going to be quite impressed by this tool. Basically, what it is a data visualization tools, and it promotes a fact-based worldview by using statistics, but you can interchange the statistics. You can use, in this case, you'll see life expectancy and wealth, but you can change the different statistics that are compared. And you can use this. Why? For student analysis. Students can use it to analyze recent and current phenomena. Obviously, the graphs only go back so far, but they go back pretty far depending on which data you're working with. And I put in geography and contemporary world courses. I think it could be used in other courses, but those are the easiest ones I could imagine using it in, and I have used it. And as you'll see, who it's for: secondary students, visual learners. You can really see what's going on with this type of tool. Teachers too, meaning teachers could use this to present, for example, even to the elementary level. The tool is a little bit sophisticated for elementary students to use, but definitely possible for teachers to show them. So I'm going to show you where it is. I'm going to link directly to it, but remember, I want you to keep in mind that this is actually used in several contexts. In particular, a new LES for contemporary world on poverty tourism, where it's used to discuss the discrepancies between wealth in the North and the South, the so-called North and the South. So I'm just going to go look at where you would find it. You would search it on our site, on the educator's site, under Gapminder tools. And this is one of the social sciences tech tips, which you may have seen. If you click this, you see the other ones that use this format. This was actually the first that I used this format for. The idea is it's a one-pager where it quickly demonstrates the tool in a context. So in this case, the context is unequal wealth in the world, and it's specific to the contemporary world program. Interpret a contemporary world program. And it also has a digital competency involved where students are using digital resources for learning, pretty obviously. The format of these one-pagers is usually I provide a context, sort of how you use it or when. This context is sort of more generic. But in the actual task, I use it to specifically go over north versus south relationships. And I'll show you the graph that's used in that particular task, which is comparing wealth or incomes per person to life expectancy. So what's interesting is I'm going to go to the tools, but actually you can link directly to a specific graph. So this is a specific graph that I set up before that compares on the left life expectancy and on the bottom wealth or gross domestic product. But hopefully I won't change it, but you can actually compare it to all kinds of things. You can compare it to things in the economy, the population, health, infrastructure, and so on. And it's pretty impressive. And you can see what it's like at different years by working through the timeline. All the dots represent countries, and this is what's happening throughout the years. So you can imagine in certain contexts that can be amazing. I'm going to jump ahead and explain the task in this particular example is to compare countries in the North, the so-called North or developed world. So the students are asked to pick Canada and the United States, and then they're asked to. So I'll go find United States. USA. And then they're asked to pick, in this particular one, to make sure they get a southern country, is to pick countries in Africa. So I'm going to pick some countries in Africa. So, for example, Chad and Congo, and to study what's happening on this map, to compare what's going on. So you can see that countries with high life expectancy also have a higher gross domestic product, and countries with a lower life expectancy, they make less money basically. So it's kind of an obvious comparison for us, but for students, this really helps them visualize. So that's my tool. And we're going to finish the recording. And if you're around, you can ask questions about these resources, or you can share resources that you like to use in class. So have a great day.